Welcome back to animerecap Official. Let's get started. The episode begins where we left off last episode. Miyo is blown away by the beautiful nature of Kiyotaka. All her worries, all her anxiety has suddenly escaped her. She's living in the present for the first time in years. Kiyotaka does, however, set the ground rules. He states that he is the master. If she fails to abide by his commands, she will be asked to leave immediately. To which she bows her head to express her submissiveness while thanking him for welcoming her into her life. This marks the beginning of Miyo's new life. To new beginnings. Later on, a servant of the house shows Miyo to her new room. She goes on to tell Miyo to ignore all the rumors surrounding Mr. Kiyotaka Kudo, and that although there may be some truth behind them for what she knows, he's a great person. As day turns to night and Miyo lays to rest in her new bedroom, she is reminded of a memory from her childhood. The memory involved her father and sister Kaya sitting in a room full of candles. That all seems a bit cultish. The reasons for doing so is to see if either of the girls possess the gift of spirit sight. Their father instructs them to keep their senses sharp as he opens the box. As the feeling in the room begins to grow tense, the box is opened. Suddenly, there's movement. The candles surrounding the girls begin to blow out like a wave, as if there was a ghost floating above farting on them. Kaya freaks out and runs to the corner, telling the spirits to leave her alone. However, much to my surprise, their father rushes over, grabbing her by the shoulders and telling her how fortunate she is to have such an ability. He tells her that when she grows up, she will attain supernatural abilities. He's so proud of her, giving her a big hug and tells her how great her future will now be. Miyo, however, is completely left out and ignored. It's clear this is where the favoritism began within their household. Just like last episode, Miyo overhears a conversation between both parents and Kaya. They continue to bless Kaya while dissing Miyo in every situation they can. She goes on to narrate, telling the audience how she lacks skills and is basically useless, until suddenly she awakes from her sleep. She's happy she's not back in that house, but she wants to be useful to her new master. You can really tell Miyo's lack of self-belief is starting to get in the way of her happiness. Miyo gets up immediately. She doesn't want to show disrespect by sleeping in too long. She makes her way to the kitchen to smell what's cooking good looking, just when she's loudly interrupted by one of the house servants. She bows to her and apologizes for letting herself in, stating that she was just look no touchy. However, the servant asks her what she's talking about, stating that she never has to apologize again and is she the bride to Kiyotaka. Miyo then goes on to cook up a feast. She shows all the skills she learned from her mother back at the old house. The servant can't believe it. She hasn't had anyone cook for her in 20 years. She also tells Miyo that she's getting old and struggles to move like she did back in the day, so any help is greatly appreciated. As Kiyotaka awakens, the girls bring his breakfast to him. Both of them bow and the servant tells Kiyotaka that Miyo in fact cooked his breakfast. However, the young master is hesitant. He asks Miyo to take the first bite, to which she nervously denies. He then stands up telling the girls that if they wanted to kill him, poisoning him will never work as he's the top. Miyo can't believe her ears. Her first attempt at impressing the man she sees as God has turned into an absolute disaster. Later that day, Kiyotaka leads a group of students, the class he calls the Special Anti-Grotesque Unit. The kids before him all hold a supernatural ability, whether it be telekinesis, pyrokinesis, clairvoyance, or one of the many others. They call them the powers of the soul, while also calling them demons and ghosts. They've been known to harm humans, and these boys are the only defense against them. However, the boys don't seem to think highly of their leaders, stating that all the preparation for no real work just feels like a waste of time. Just when Kiyotaka fires of a lightning bolt out of the tip of his finger, the boys are proving themselves. Kiyotaka doesn't take no shit. He takes full control and puts the boys right in line. Later on, Kiyotaka is doing some paperwork when his mind takes him back to the morning. His servant was trying to convince him how hard Miyo had worked on his breakfast and that he should apologize for storming off. He finally believes her as he remembers that his maid has never defended anyone. Miyo's back at the house. She's still in despair. She can't believe her luck. Everything she does to help always ends up biting her in the bum. She convinces herself that she's going to be like every girl before her, out of the house in 1 week. On the other side of town, Kuji is getting ready to share a room with Kaya. However, while putting away linen in Miyo's old room, he reflects on how she has been treated. He tells himself that if Miyo's ever thrown out and forced to sleep on the streets, then he will be there for her. Just when Kaya interrupts him, at the other house as Kiyotaka arrives home, Miyo bows before him and tells him that she wants to apologize for her cooking. She explains she let herself get carried away. Kiyotaka walks away while making it clear to her that he did not eat the food because he thought it was poisonous, but rather because he did not want to eat the food of someone he does not know. As Kiyotaka takes a bite of his food, he complains it's cold. Without hesitation, Miyo apologizes and bows. However, Kiyotaka suddenly interrupts, explaining that with every breath she takes, an apology follows. He tells her repeating the apology cheapens it. After dinner, while Miyo is cleaning up, Kiyotaka approaches through the shutters and tells her that he's sorry for refusing the food this morning. She can't believe her ears. He tells her that tomorrow it's her time to shine. She's cooking as Yuri won't be until 9. He also tells her to use the remains of the bath water to clean. That's disgusting in my opinion. However, she loves it. In the bath, she reflects upon a time as a child where she mother's moments were stolen from her. The stepmother casts a spell upon her and throws her into the corner while stomping on her mother's old hairbrush. She looks her away and tortures her while the other housemaids plead with the stepmother to let her go. She awakens the next morning with the broken hairbrush her mother gave her. As morning rolls around, Miyo finds herself in the kitchen preparing Kiyotaka's breakfast. Miyo and Yuri both cook up an absolute feast. It even has my mouth watering. They work so well together, like two peas in a pod. However, she still has doubts. All the time she has tried and failed has left a mark on her soul. When Kiyotaka has been served, he alerts Miyo to eat as well. This has never happened before. He tells her the food's great. She can hold it in. She starts to cry. She can't remember the last time she was complimented. Kiyotaka's confused. He struggles to understand why Miyo acts the way she does. He starts to wonder if she has been mistreated in her past. Mr. Kiyotaka Kudo is so perplexed that he decides he's going to have her family investigated privately. He states that all of his ex-wives have only come for the money, while Miyo seems completely different. The servant quickly tells him that behind the scenes she is even a better woman. The episode ends with Miyo's father in a heated argument on the phone with the spirit guide. That's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe.